Hello comrades, I recently wrapped up a video series covering the worst political streamer Hasan Piker. And whenever I wrap up a series like this, I like to do a bit of a retrospective to see if anything has changed. And when it comes to our favorite lolcow Hasan, no, he hasn't changed anything despite getting massive pushback from outsiders as well as his own fans. In fact, he's done the exact same things just this past week. So I'm going to play Professor Willy and I'm going to test Hasan to see if he's improved on any of the things I've criticized him for. It's only 3 questions. Does he react to content fairly now? Has he covered news stories accurately? And has he become a little bit more self-aware? When it comes to him not abiding by fair use laws, stealing content, it's the same old story. He gets up and leaves mid-video, letting it play to the finish while he's not even there. People were originally angry with me that I didn't use enough new examples of Hasan getting up while the video was still playing. Well, to the surprise of only Hasan fans, he has done this every single day since my video has come out. Not once did he pause the video when he left. He always unpauses it.
He's great, in other words. So, he won a huge victory yesterday in Argentina's presidential election.
It doesn't matter if he's reacting to the news or other people's YouTube videos. He's not putting in the minimum effort when it comes to properly following copyright law. His own fans are making fun of him, saying chair camp, calling everyone a horrible person who calls him out for it.
Chair camp. I love seeing chair. There's gonna be a lot of like weird trolls that come in here today and just like repeat stuff that I've said as though it's an own, because they're just objectively bad people in general.
Failed, but I'm sure he'll pass the next question.
Oh my god, he's crying! What a f***ing bitch!
This guy's insane. Almost as insane as being able to turn your room into a planetarium. It's Cyber Week, and that means it's the best time of year for shopping online. And I just found the gem of a lifetime. It's the Galaxy Projector 2.0 lamp, turning any space into outer space. My favorite use for it is on those late night gaming sessions where you could just immerse yourself, losing track of time. And it's very customizable all through their app, able to adjust the color, the speed, the brightness of the stars. And it's smart too, able to hook up to Amazon Alexa or Google Assistant. From gaming and movies to parties and relaxation, the Galaxy lamp is able to add that little bit of flair to any room. Any room. You could take a cosmic crap if you want. Be sure to go to galaxylamps.co/WillyMacShow to get your Galaxy Projector 2.0 and take advantage of the grandest sale of the year. Thank you, Galaxy Lamps, for sponsoring this video.
It's so hard to be an ally sometimes.
Hasan and I's debates centered around his poor news coverage where he jumps wildly to conclusions before getting the full story, and then never apologizing or correcting the story when he's wrong. Instead, he shifts the goalpost. He's done this multiple times with Ukraine, Iran, Israel. I've uploaded 2 other videos covering this in detail if you want to catch up. Point is, he's done it again. He couldn't go 1 week without misreporting a story. On Twitter, a video went viral, 8 million views, showing a Palestinian kid get yelled at by Israeli police. The tweet was captioned, "Ahmad was kidnapped 8 years ago when he was only 13 years old." This leaked video shows Israeli officers interrogating him. This is how Israelis treat Palestinian children. Israel kidnapped over 880 Palestinian children in 2023 only. Hasan would immediately quote tweet this saying, "Indefensible monsters," getting another 5 million views and over 75,000 likes. Now Hasan just made it seem like Israel kidnapped this kid for no reason. They're monsters. But if you just take 2 seconds and Google his name, you'll see that he was running around holding knives with his 15-year-old cousin. His cousin stabbed a 13-year-old Israeli boy and another 21-year-old before getting shot by a dude he also tried to stab. The boy in the video was then stopped after getting hit by a car. That is not the same as this kid getting kidnapped by the IDF. He was arrested and convicted for attempted murder. He's on video doing it. Hasan doesn't care to add any of that crucial context because the truth does not matter to him. May I remind you, this is the same guy who says he does a better job at reporting than most news outlets.
I am not held up by the same journalistic standards, even though I think I do a much better job than most other news outlets in general.
I responded to him with, "Amazing journalism, Hasan." And his response to me is exactly what I've been criticizing him for. He demonizes me, moves the goalpost, and then continues to get the story wrong. You think it's okay to torture and extract a confession out of a 13-year-old? You depraved freak? He's making it sound like I love torturing kids. The torture Hasan is referring to is the cops threatening and insulting the kid during the interrogation. It's in his own linked source. As for the extracted confession, again, he did do it. It's on camera. Hasan continues, do you know anything about this case? He was run over by a car before this. No, he was run over by a car after he was an accomplice in stabbing 2 people. You don't know anything about this case. He then says his 15-year-old cousin who stabbed 2 people was shot dead on the spot. But again, if you just watch the video, the 15-year-old ran at and tried to stab a 3rd person who then shot him. I would show you the video, but YouTube won't allow it. It is easy enough to Google for yourself. Not a single sentence of this tweet was right. Hasan would then go on stream and rewrite history, framing everyone as toddler murderers.
What's important here is to understand that the position that they're taking is to violently torture toddlers for crimes that they are either suspected of doing or sometimes openly not even convicted of doing.
This guy is talking about Ahmed, who is convicted and guilty on every level. But if you believe that objective truth, you're a toddler murderer.
Your expectation should not be that, like, these are perfect victims. Your expectation should be to abide by at least some standards that show a semblance of morality when incarcerating a fucking 13-year-old. Okay? In that situation, the 13-year-old with the knife is not the animal. The whole-ass adult and the entire structure that imprisoned him and placed him in solitary confinement and broke him and developed where he developed schizophrenia, that is the animalistic, barbaric structure. Okay? A 13-year-old is innocent, man. Fucking ridiculous.
I don't get how he's victimizing this kid. 13-year-olds can and do commit crimes. In the United States, we have 13-year-olds that have served life sentences for attempted murder. Same charge.
And I don't know what this dude's like personal politics are, but I don't think he's like anti-Palestinian. I don't know what the fuck's going on there. But it is very shocking to me that like these guys will literally take any position they can because they probably think I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
You don't.
And this makes it seem like Ahmad Manazra was like completely living his life and then that was just like ripped off the streets or something. I guess that's the reason.
Oh my God, he's learning. Yes, you misreported the story. That's the point. He's finally getting it. Progress.
I suspect he didn't fucking know the full details and saw something on Reddit and thought, oh, this is a good opportunity to strike.
You don't know the full details.
Without like reading up on it again, or even if now he's read up on it, he probably can still try and justify it by being like, look at the video, he's running around with a knife. A 13-year-old under no circumstances should be put under this condition, okay? There's no world in which this is appropriate or acceptable.
If he wants to have the opinion that you shouldn't be able to imprison 13-year-olds, okay, fine. But just look at how he shifted the goalpost throughout this entire conversation. It starts off with the IDF are monsters for kidnapping this 13-year-old for no reason. When called out, he demonizes me by implying that I like it when 13-year-olds get tortured. He then says the cousin was shot on the spot, leaving out the details that he was trying to stab a 3rd person. He then calls everyone toddler murderers for thinking these kids are guilty, which they are.
The position that they're taking is to violently torture toddlers.
And then when he finally gets on stream, the argument becomes, well, they did do it, but 13-year-olds shouldn't serve 9 years. Oh, and Willy's a drama farmer, so it doesn't matter if I'm wrong.
The reason why I'm bringing this up, though, is because while this dipshit doesn't have any real politics associated with it and is just simply trying to drama bait and drama farm, there are, however, plenty of people who do legitimately have a political ideological position.
Hold on. If you actually cared about any of the news you covered, you would get it right the first time. You wouldn't leave out all these crucial details. Don't pretend like you care when you really don't. Hasan admitting he's a propagandist isn't a meme at this point, because that's what he's actually doing, misrepresenting stories to support his worldview.
Just like I do propaganda.
I'm a propagandist.
Well, no,
for the record.
But Hasan doesn't only get geopolitical news wrong, he's so incompetent he can't even get YouTube drama right. Let's detour. Pokimane came under fire when she launched her newly made Mina cookies. This happened because she acted like she was in a lab crafting these for 2 years.
I'm so excited that I finally can. Like, I can't believe I'm uttering these words. I have been working on launching a brand slash company slash product for the last 2 years. Imagine 2 years of not being able to share that
when in reality it is the exact same ingredients as another brand, showing that it was most likely a white labeled product. She also marketed it as a health food because there is extra vitamin D, but there is nowhere near enough vitamin D to supplement a vitamin deficiency like she claims.
Like, it was just an idea in my mind that I had no idea if it was possible, but she made it happen. We have infused vitamin D. If you are like me, you might have a vitamin D deficiency. I know I have for a very long time. Anytime I get my blood work done, that's always top of the list. I'm always trying to take vitamin D supplements. The fact that we can make a delicious, healthy snack and it has functional benefits like vitamin D,
And by the way, the nutritional facts, these are the exact same cookies. The only difference is 3 micrograms of vitamin D. Now this is where I get a little bit upset. You have to eat 7 cookies to get 120 IUs of vitamin D every single day. In my opinion, that is not an efficacious dose of vitamin D, and therefore it should not be used to market product.
Pokimane would sell these in packs of 4 for $28, breaking down to $7 a pack, which I think is a pretty hefty price for repackaged cookies, but Poki would laugh at everyone for saying so.
I'm like, oh my god, $28 for cookies? It's 4 bags. That's $7 a bag. I know math is hard when you're an idiot, but like, if you're a broke boy, just say so.
Which is a hilarious response since she said this in her launch video.
I don't really come out with many things. I haven't even had merch in like years. I don't want you guys spending your money on something unless it's really, really worth your money. I don't like to promote very many things for that reason. So I really hope it's something that you guys will love just as much as I love it.
They don't.
She would also be called a hypocrite because she criticized creators in the past for using the same rhetoric. Invader V called her viewers broke for not subbing to her for $5.
Doesn't matter how broke you are. If you have time to watch Twitch, you have $10, truly. If you don't have $10, you probably don't have time to watch Twitch because you should be working. You should be trying to earn money. It's not a ton. It's not like a ton of money.
Poki would reply, if $5 is an irrelevant amount of money, then she shouldn't need the $5 from your subscription. If she argues that it adds up when multiple people give her $5, then she should realize it works the same way when it comes to saving. Get these shitty takes off of my timeline and off of my streaming platform. Poki is objectively wrong in this situation. She's falsely advertised the product in multiple ways, she's charging a lot of money for it, and she's hypocritically calling her audience broke for not buying it. It is a slam dunk case. How could you possibly screw up covering this story? Well, Hasan finds a way. Charlie made a video saying pretty much the exact same thing I told you, and Hasan, while reacting to it, implied that you would only have that opinion because she's a woman. But first, of course, he has to leave while the video is still playing.
The chance that you have... My brain is scrambled. What happened?
So after missing all the context of Charlie's video, he comes back and says this. When Poki calls everyone broke.
The big mistake here is that she thought that she could be a woman online and then also come across as not super serious in this very important moment. Even if you're fucking joking, even if you're fucking making a meme like, oh, broke boys or whatever, one that I've made a million times over. Tensions are high. People are looking for drama. They're gonna fucking cut this as though you are 100% genuine and you're going, yeah, you're poor shaming.
She's not joking. She's unironically mad that people have a problem with the price tag. If you watch the full context of her stream, it's clear she's not joking, but it's Hasan. Zero research Hasan. Just makes things up.
This is literally a core joke to XQC's entire platform. Exactly. Here's who's doing it. Pokimane. She's not allowed to do it. I'm gonna get mad now. The other thing about how unhinged haters are in this case is how I doubt that the deep dive in the cookies would have been even happening if it was a different content creator doing it. No, exactly. That's the point.
Hasan saying XQC would get away with this again just shows how much he talks out of his ass. Charlie would debunk Hasan's point immediately on stream.
Hasan said if XQC said that to his community was broke, nobody would say a thing, so Poki is a victim, I guess. Did Hasan really say that? Because every time XQC brings up money, Twitter eats him alive the same way, if not worse than Poki.
Charlie's 100% right here. XQC gets grilled constantly for bringing up money. It's ridiculous to imply sexism is at play when it comes to Poki. Hasan's ignorance on this topic can be summed up with one clip.
I think this whole, like, look, her own community has brought up valid concerns about the cookie gate and the cookie prices, and she's yelling at them is silly. That's not what happened.
Then what happened?
I don't even know what happened, but I know that's not what happened.
Cool. On-the-ground journalist Hasan Piker at work. This is the same criticism I brought up to Hasan in our debate.
You not watching my videos is the same level of reporting that you give Israel and Gaza. It's the same level of reporting that you give Ukraine.
I'm going to be honest with you. If you think
minimum effort in and just
you are revealing, revealing how stupid you are by claiming that watching a YouTube video is the same as like reading news reports and talking to on-the-ground journalists and forensic analysts.
No, I'm not. I'm saying you won't even do the bare minimum, and you won't even do it for a drama video.
I'm losing my fucking mind.
If Hasan can't accurately navigate a simple and straightforward drama about cookies, do you think he's capable of navigating these complex geopolitical issues? No, of course not. He's making stuff up all the same. And since it's about breaking news, his misreporting leads to people getting radicalized, and him labeling people as drama farmers who correct him. It's embarrassing.
It's shocking, I guess, more so to me that this is like a farming operation that works.
When he says this, he's just self-reporting as a full-on lol cow. If you want people to stop farming you, you have to stop misreporting stories. You have all the power in this situation, but he can't because he's unaware of his lol cow ways. Fresh milk from Willy's Drama Farm in Piker City, USA. Buy a hat. It's a real hat at WillyMacShow.com. Link in the description. Comes with extra vitamin D. I give it an A+. There is just zero accountability with this guy when it comes to covering the news. Hasan Piker, F.
Illegal drugs.
Dude, this guy is such a fucking idiot, dude. One, you're black.
Hasan has been misreporting stories going on 2 years now, and his Twitch audience has been dwindling because of it. And due to his demonization of other people for having different points of view, he lost his biggest avenue to new viewers, being the Leftover podcast.
People are saying rip leftovers. Yeah, probably. The whole fucking thing was such a disappointing, horrible experience, how it ended. I just know the stuff that people were saying about me was just bananas. Yeah, I don't know. Not worth it. It's just not worth it.
He's now had so many streamers and YouTubers laugh at his poor coverage that his number is only going to keep dropping. And he's so desperate that he's resorting to criticizing his competitors for not jumping to conclusions.
Every time I see clips of Destiny, it's always like very confident, but also confidently unsure. But because he's like channeling State Department propaganda, it oftentimes is just left unnoticed. Like people don't look at it and go, wait, what do you mean? You're not really sure? Okay, well, how about you get sure?
Bro, I wish you were more unsure. The problem is you are way too sure. Hasan is so painfully unaware that he does this.
I think I have the exact opposite problem where I am grossly aware of the lack of knowledge that I have on a particular matter. Because there's so much. Always. There's so much more to learn. So I don't have that same level of confidence. IDF didn't bomb the hospital? Yes, it did! Yes, it did! Attack on U.S. consulate in Iran happening now? False flag. 100%. MEK false flag. When I say MEK, I just mean CIA. I said MEK, but I mean CIA.
Yes, you do have that same ignorant level of confidence. That's why you're always getting called out for being wrong. Saying, I don't know, I need to look into it first is a commendable trait, and people like Hasan should adopt that. Failed, 0% self-awareness, 0% on the test. Hasan is not going to change, and I don't expect him to, but I do think there's value in pointing out how frequently he gets stuff wrong. He couldn't go a week. He couldn't cover cookies. That being said, I'm moving on from Hasan. I'm sick of covering his fake news and his fake laugh. I just want to make videos on something fresher, at least until he screws up the next major geopolitical issue. I will be talking to Destiny at some point on his stream, just trying to wrap up some odds and ends that didn't make it in my videos. Until then, subscribe to the channel and be sure to check out Galaxy Lamps. Also, shout out to the homies over on Patreon. Phoebes, Crimson Glass, Riveter, Christina Vina, Mac Monkey, Drink Kobex, Bo Blacks, Necro Valley, Stefan Bildman, Friday 13, Abby Blackbird, Eddie Bizzle, Tiz McFitz, Christopher H, BCCS22, first name, last name, and the mega homies, Reynolds Hughes Hellison, IGP, Your Taxi, Latchkey Goth Boy, Cyber Katie, Lori Loaded, Papa Gut, Caden Lulan, Luis G, XO Irish XO, BA Subway, TV Anthology Reviews, Hawk and Load, Joshua J, and Zerophonic.